I think burgers are iconic because they're accessible. Everyone has their memory of burgers that they had growing up. They have memories of the most expensive burger that they had, the most indulgent burger that they had. Everyone identifies with them, and ultimately, everyone enjoys them. 7:30 at the butcher shop. We got our meat delivery for the week. We're gonna break everything down, save the steaks for the butcher shop, get the grind ready for the burgers. Greg is our head butcher at the Meat Hook. Jade is a senior butcher at the Meat Hook. Every Tuesday, they are tasked with receiving the delivery, get it organized, start cutting retail cuts for the case, and start making trim for our burgers at Cozy Royale.
To break this down, it'll take us an hour. To sell all of it, a few days.
Absolutely everything on this table is gonna be used in one way or the other. So this is about, I think all said and done, like 1,200 pounds of meat on the table right now, which is a fun workout for us at 7:30. So this is the leg that I'm breaking down. So we'll isolate a bottom round or two to make a roast beef for the deli case for the week, and then the rest will become lean trim. Yeah, so we aim for a beautiful 70-30 burger grind for the Cozy burgers. So we need nice lean muscles to isolate out of the leg to offset the fattier trims like the short ribs and brisket so that we can hit the fat ratio for the restaurant.
Cozy and the butcher shop have a brother-sister relationship. They're both really dependent on one another at this point. And it's all very intentional from the time I started learning butchery. And I just always saw different animals as certain retail cuts, but also certain things that you would never be able to just sell out of the butcher shop. You'd have to start a restaurant in order to sell all of said animal. Charcuterie as an example, like charcuterie doesn't make any money for a butcher shop, but you do make money on it in a restaurant. So you kind of have to be strategic about where you sell things and why.
When I first started cutting meat, that was the most stressful part for me. Was I'm like, how do I make sense of this pile of red on the table, you know? But once you learn how to do it, you're aware of each muscle group, why you're pulling it, why you're treating it the way you're treating it. So you just know which ones make steaks and which ones don't. So with enough experience, you know, muscle memory, literally, you just learn.
So now we're just finishing up, filling up this lugger right here for grinds for the day. This bin fits about 50 pounds of meat. So we know that that's gonna be sufficient enough to get us through the day. Add a little bit more lean. And then this guy is going downstairs to the big old grinder. Corner down. I have a big old commercial grinder down here, which we can probably get close to 200 pounds in one grind. What we use for our burger grind for the shop and for the restaurant is what we call our medium grind, which is a 3/16 grind. We kind of feel that that gives it like the perfect texture while still having it be super tender and the mouthfeel that people want. And then for the classic burger at Cozy, we'll actually grind it through twice. What that does is it just kind of incorporates the fat and the lean just a little bit more. So this is 50 pounds of ground beef trim going into the grinder. This will make about 150 burgers. So the classic will get passed through twice to give it that more homogeneous look.
The 3/16 plate is honestly just the perfect grind to deliver exactly the mouthfeel and consistency that you're looking for.
So this is the 50 pounds that will get patted up for Cozy for service tonight. And then next we'll grind through the smash burgers that will get done at a smaller die. So we'll switch the dies, get the trim out, weigh it out, and get it ready to go for tonight.
So we have a small walk-in, we have small inventory, which means we have a very small dry aging program. So one of the few things that we choose to dry age is our bone-in sirloin. We'll put about 2 weeks of extra age on this. It'll help tenderize the muscle, so it's a big beefy flavor. But whenever we trim it up, we'll save those trimmings and that'll go into the burger grind. So we're gonna face this section, take the bone out, and then trim it into steaks. We're gonna save all of the trimmings because that's what's gonna make our burger grind. So this is essentially the trim that we have to work with. We have this face piece that we're just gonna take the little bit of bone up, dust it off, and then we're gonna grind it for burger. The dry aged burger ends up being 5 ounces. We do a smash patty because it's fattier, and what you want out of that dry aged flavor comes from the fat. The meat is gonna taste a little bit different, but the fat tastes radically different once it has a bit of that age on it.
So you can see once that bark goes away, everything underneath it is beautiful, beautiful meat that picks up that nice, funky umami notes. Yeah, so I mean, this burger is, over a month in the process of making, right? So that will, give it that's kind of its scarcity. Also just super special and rich. A lot of other butcher shops will kind of hold all of their dry aged trim for themselves, whereas we specifically will set stuff aside so that Cozy has the parts that they need. So now this will essentially go downstairs and we'll do that same process that we just did with the classic ground beef, just with this. So Cozy gets their grinds fresh every day, but just to add that next level of freshness, we'll just cryo seal it for them. So by the time they come pick it up in a couple hours, it's still that beautiful bright red.
Our burger grinds are done, so now we're gonna go to Native to grab our burger buns. Yeah, so we have this great relationship with Native Bread that we think is doing, a similar style in baking as to what we're doing with butchering, and really does labor over the fine details to make what you'd think of as just pretty normal ingredients. And I think that's ultimately like what we're looking for.
So this is the dough that we started for potato buns for Cozy Royale, our famous handmade potato bun. This is a diving arm mixer. It's the most gentle style of mixer. It most closely mimics human hands. And this doesn't stress the dough out at all. It's almost like we were kneading by hand, but we can do 100 kilos at a time. And this is the best, in my opinion, one of the best styles of mixers for bread. So our potato dough billets, pat them out here. So the rounder divides into 36 equal pieces. So the size of the bun is determined by the weight of our dough. These are where the buns are all formed. So we have to stay inside this shape. And then the plate comes down, chops it evenly, and they get shaken up inside. Trick is you want the top to not stick to your hand, and you want the bottom to stick to the table a little bit. And then you're kind of like pushing the dough underneath. So this is a double rack oven. It fits 32 sheet pans at once. And when you're making 2,000 buns, you need something like this in order to get all those bakes in at once. It also rotates as well so that they're evenly cooked. Smaller ovens, you would have to flip your pans around halfway through the bake to get an even bake, but this is gonna rotate. So this is gonna be a hot bake, 12 minutes, steam. We'll try to make it happen for them if the volume's there and if it's a good relationship. These are seeded. The ones that Cozy Royale gets is same but different. Same dough, no seeds. These just happen to come out first. This has to cool down slowly, gradually before packing. It's really fragile right now. And we gotta unload the oven quickly so we don't heat up the whole bakery. So we're gonna do the same process with the plain buns without seeds. Let them cool for 3 hours and then we'll bag them up.
We just got our ground beef in from the shop, both regular and dry aged. He's gonna have to probably prep out 70 or 80 regular burgers for tonight, and then on the dry age, because that's all we'll have for 2 to 3 days, he'll do 20 little 2.5 ounce balls just to get ready for the smash burger. Our regular patty is 6 ounces, so that's like the big sort of tavern style burger, if you will. This contraption sort of runs the whole restaurant because it gives them that perfect, as you'll see with him, shape we're looking for, where it's like really a puck. We're not having to hand form patties, and he can go fast and we can do a lot because we sell a lot. We might fill, 4 or 5 of these because we sell between 80 and 90 of the house burger a day. And right after this, he'll get into, just as part of setting up his station, rolling balls for like the happy hour smash patty. So that's another 40 or 50 of those. So each week it's about, between 600 and 650 regular Cozy Royale burgers. And then another 200 to 300 happy hour burgers, and then obviously the dry age. So a lot of the stuff when you're in like a high volume concept like this, not that the concept was high volume, but now we're just so busy. It's like a lot of labor. It's just punching fries, blanching fries, pattying burgers, rolling smash balls. It takes a lot. It's just repeating the same thing. The burger is the engine that runs Cozy. We'll have a full rack of tickets, and each ticket is like hippie salad. That's a very popular item. And then the entrees will be a mixture, but every ticket has a burger on it. We're ready to rock and roll for tonight. This is our dry age. These are done. That's all we'll have in dry age burgers for tonight. And then we have to probably make 4 or 5 more of these, and then we'll be good for our regular burger as well. And we're gonna start making our regular cheeseburger. This is our 6-ounce cheeseburger that's on the menu all the time, starting with a 6-ounce patty from the meat hook, ground this morning. Very simple seasoning, just a healthy dose of salt, and right on the grill here. So this is the potato roll from Native that we use just for our house, our regular cheeseburger. Hit it on the wheel. This is all butter in here. And then we're just gonna let those buns toast off for like a minute or so. This is Cooper's Sharp White, which is like a classic American cheese brand that will really remind you of like your mom bringing home a quarter pound of cheese like sliced at a grocery store deli, not Kraft Singles. We wanna make sure the cheese melts fully, but doesn't start to, like a little bubbling is okay. You get a little bit of color. All right, so this is our dry aged burger. It's like a double stacked sort of smash burger.
You know, dry aging means that you're losing all of that moisture content so that your actual fat has less moisture to it, so it's harder. So if you do a tavern style grind on the dry age, like it can be toothsome, which is a nice way of saying like tough. So this way, make sure that you cook it like almost all the way through, but smash style, so it's like medium, but all of the fat is getting fully rendered out.
We use raclette on this, and I'm just throw it right on the grill.
That burger is like the complete opposite end of the spectrum from our tavern burger. It is meant to just be a punch in the jaw of flavor. The 2.5-ounce patties, they render out, so the whole thing like is 5 ounces, but like you can really actually slam it pretty quickly. But the little bit of spice from the roux, the tartness from the onions, sweetness from the bacon jam, and really the beefiness of that dry aged flavor just punches you, you're done, drink your beer, go home.
Bacon jam. Yeah, we make this bacon jam. It's basically just like fully rendered out small bacon lardons. And then we caramelize a ton of white onion, deglaze with some vinegar, and then just sort of cook it down. That's actually the most deluxe element. It's like there's a bunch of bacon on it. And there you go.
Cozy's meant to be a neighborhood tavern. You would want to come to every week, a corner bar. You would bump into other friends, neighbors, meet your friends there. I don't know that a menu needs to have a burger on it, and it honestly is a very conscious choice for a restaurant to do it because burgers will dominate your menu. People love burgers, and if you do a great one, people are really gonna come out for that great one. And a lot of chefs, frankly, have a chip on their shoulder, and they wanna cook the food that they wanna cook, and they don't want to necessarily cook the food that a lot of customers really want, which is on a Tuesday night, they want a freaking cheeseburger.